man, so an insane week comes to an end here on crypto. Is it time to exit crypto? Are we in for a big set of pain? Guys, remember, we got some interesting data this week which could suggest we could be in for a flip-flop. I'm just out here for an afternoon stroll, trying to kind of think about the week we just had ahead, reflect on what's going on. I thought I'd share my thoughts with you guys as well. We'll jump into the charts to show you the key levels. Make sure you smash up likes. Don't forget to subscribe. As always, check out the links in the description. If you want to trade with us, crypto.com/TG. I'm still recovering from my man flu, but still committed to giving you guys the updates. So let's get straight into it. So guys, when you take a look at the chart, the weekly candle here looks set to close at positive 2.63%. So even though it was a nice week, a good bounce here in terms of the weekly candles, why is it that I'm a little bit worried? The main reason I'm worried is to do with the FOMC and the rate cuts that the markets were expecting. Now, based on the data we saw this week, which included, right, we had the FOMC meeting where Jerome Powell kind of told us that even March is unlikely to get a rate cut, right? He kept it paused at this meeting. Markets are now having to start to reprice in or recalibrate what they were expecting. So the question now is going to be, are we set for a deeper pullback? Remember, I said, guys, even if this wants to come into the weekly EMA ribbon all the way down there to 32, even though I don't expect it, I'm prepared for it, because 32 is a retest from these two peaks. Remember, we spoke about this peak here and this peak here, which we struggled to break through that 32 to 33 range. At least go back and retest it. I'm perfectly fine with that. So if the market wants to pull back, I'm certainly prepared for it. I'll DCA, I'll buy the dip. I've been calling that this move is very extended. And even the flush out we had last week wasn't a crazy flush out. So already we've had a green week this week, despite the FOMC being quite hawkish, despite then yesterday getting that shock jobs figure as well. Make sure you go watch my video yesterday. And this is starting to get us to think, will the Fed now just say, hang on, we're not going to rate cut maybe all of this year? Maybe we'll just have one rate cut or maybe two. Remember, the market's priced in 3. And so far, the market has been so wrong at predicting this cycle. Every person predicting this market is just messed up entirely. And this is another example of it. The stock market is moving. The labor figures are showing really strong. The economy is apparently really strong. Now remember, what do we have to ladder in on top of that? We have to be a little bit cynical. It's an election year. Joe Biden has to show that the economy is doing well. Maybe he'll give one rate cut closer to the elections just to give us one rate cut. Say, look, soft landing. Labor figures are amazing. Look at the tech earnings, they're amazing. He has to show that, right? But from our perspective, we need to think about it from a rate cut perspective. We need to see liquidity flow into the market. As crypto investors, what do we want? Liquidity. We need liquidity in the market. We need money to flow back into the market like it was doing in the cough time in 2020 and 2021. Money was flowing, it was being printed by every central bank. And that is when risk on assets, and of course, Bitcoin altcoins, start to do well. So whilst I'm locked and loaded in this market, whilst you guys know I keep the majority of my portfolio DCA'd and I get into this market, I can't help but think or to be prepared that we could see a deeper pullback, and that keeps lingering on my head. So no, to answer the question of the thumbnail, I'm not exiting crypto, but I'm certainly keeping one foot to the side, just in a defensive stance where everybody's super excited to say, hang on, I need to be prepared if this pulls back. I don't want to be that guy that everybody says, oh, it's going up to 50,000, and then it pulls back to 32, 33, even 37, 36, and not be prepared. So I'm keeping cash on the sidelines, trying to pull a few other cash resources together to make sure that when that dip does come, if it comes, I'm not that person that's sitting on the sidelines panicking. I'm going, nope, this was predicted. Here's my cash on the sidelines. I'm ready to DCA, not just in Bitcoin, Ethereum, but some of my favorite altcoins, because expect them to dump too if Bitcoin dumps. So that's my game plan here in the market, and that's what I'm thinking. But ultimately, you need to remember, this market has not been predicting these cycles very well. So keep a very close eye on what's going on. Make sure you're adaptable. Make sure you've got a plan in either direction. You guys know, if you've been following my content, I don't pride myself in predicting the market. I don't say, oh, I know it's coming up and I'm so smart, I'm some genius. No, not a genius at all, right? And if you guys follow me in my trading, the way I trade as well, I don't act like I'm a genius. I just stack the cards in my favor, which every great trader or investor does. They don't know which way it's going. If they knew they'd be a billionaire overnight, I'd be a billionaire overnight. I don't. I just have a bit of an understanding of risk management, how to stack the cards in my favor, and even when I'm wrong, limit my downside, and when I'm right, maximize the upside. So overall, I'm profitable. And that is how I did over 400% trading spot only on altcoins in December, over 375% in November. right? Crazy, crazy results just trading spot because I stacked those cards in my favor. Now look, there's something else that comes into it as well. You need accountability. I'm seeing so many people message me about VIP or about trading or investing, and it's shocking. They have no accountability. And I don't like to go on these rants. I don't like to kind of, baby people, but sometimes I have to act as a bigger brother because some of you don't have financially smart people around you in your life. Maybe you don't have an older brother. Maybe you don't have a dad who's completely financially literate. That sometimes I have to tell you these things, right? And the main thing here is you guys are making really irresponsible decisions. You're going gung-ho on a single trade. You're going all in on an altcoin. You're misallocating your portfolio. You think you're going to become a master trader in a month by taking 1 or 2 trades, putting your whole portfolio in here. You come with your final $1,000. This is going to make me rich. I'm going to become so rich. And you put it all in an altcoin. That's not the way to go, right? The majority of people cannot sustainably make returns. It doesn't matter how big those returns are. I posted a video on my other channel, if you guys haven't watched it, where I did a trading challenge, right? I was flying on Emirates, and I said, can I make $5,000, the cost of the ticket, back while I'm trading on the plane? And yeah, somebody commented below, yeah, but you're trading with 6 figures. Yeah, I made 5% on 6 figures. 5%. But if I can make 5% on demand whenever I want, don't you think I'm going to build my account quickly? If I started with $1,000 and every day made 5%, do the maths. Do the compounding of how quickly that grows to 6 figures, 7 figures, beyond. But you guys can't figure that out. You're too busy going, oh, I've got my last $1,000. I need to put this into a Shiba. I need to put this into a meme coin. What's everyone talking about? And then you walk into the trap of these influencers running straight into their shields. Boom. Oh, why am I getting wrecked? Why am I getting shielded to? Why am I falling for these scams? Because you're always desperate. You're looking for that get rich quick scheme instead of saying, hang on, that's not what I need to learn. I don't need to learn how to catch a Shiba. I need to learn how to sustainably, pragmatically, repeatably, every single time I want to. I can make 5% in the charts. It's nothing to me. And when you can do that and you're patient, you learn a skill that stands you instead for a lifetime, because you can always go to the chart and say, hey, I need to look for a 5% trade. Which altcoin is moving here? I'm going to trade it. And if you look at that video which I posted, I traded Trebe in that video. Trebe went up 20% in that day. But I didn't get greedy. Did you see me get greedy? Nope. Took my profits. I got out. I made my 5%. I'm done. And that happens day after day after day. If you're in VIP with us, you'll see. The prices go well beyond our take profit 3 sometimes, but I get it out. I take my profit, I don't get greedy, I manage my psychology, and I live to fight another day. That's the key. Guys, getting ready for a big week here on Bitcoin. The question is going to be, how does the market digest this new macroeconomic news? Is it going to decide to bounce and go higher? If it does, guys, we need to see a move higher than the wick of this candle, which was 49,100. So if we cannot bounce and go above 49,100, this is pointless. We'll just curl over. And that is why I keep holding my bias here to the downside. The other thing I have to show you, which is, again, going to be the main focus of what happens over these next few weeks and months, is the dollar index. If this dollar index continues to show strength, this will not, in the medium to long term, be good for Bitcoin. So we need to watch this chart. It's had a good couple of weeks here, a month now, of moving to the upside. It's getting above its weekly EMA candle, right? And it closed above on Friday. This is a problem. We don't want this to go on another leg to the upside, particularly if it creates a higher high above this peak. That's going to suggest risk is rotating off. The market is getting nervous about what's going on, the fact that we might not get some rate cuts, and that could be a problem, okay? So all eyes will be tuned on this. Let's see how this plays out this week. It's an interesting week here on crypto. A lot of spanners in the work here in terms of our perfect year of Bitcoin spot ETF, then our rate cuts, then our halving. You see how when the market gets excited and starts to price things in, that's when you can get wrecked. That's when you need to keep your emotions in check and not get caught up with the hype. So the ETF hype kind of is starting to die down. Now, medium to long term, that's great news. Fine. But the buy the rumor, sell the news has happened. The rate cutting that we were getting excited about has now got a spanner in the works too. Maybe Jerome Powell might not need to cut rates because the economy is so healthy. He's not damaging the economy. We're going to have to see how that plays out, to do with elections as well and some of the politics mixing with the financial policies. And then, of course, the Bitcoin halving, which still promises to be an important, programmed, algorithmic thing that nobody hopefully can change. And that's the bit which really should lead us to a thunderous 2024. Overall, I'm still bullish. I don't want you guys thinking I'm not bullish here for 2024. Super bullish for 2024. But you got to be prepared for some of these pullbacks. And right now, Bitcoin's sitting in that level where it just doesn't feel like it's got the energy and the impetus to want to move forward. And I'd feel more comfortable if it wanted to pull back into that EMA ribbon, retest, regroup before going on another leg to mount a big proper attack at 50, then 64 and 69. That's what I want to see personally. Of course, I don't know. I can't predict this market. If it wants to go now, go now. My bags are locked and loaded. All I can do is prepare more cash on the sidelines to buy that dip. Let me know how you guys doing in this market. If you appreciate these updates, even on a weekend when my throat is completely gone, smash up the likes. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.